Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andrea and it's nice to have you all here. I was struggling to figure out what I was going to do today. I started doing a book review and just really wasn't feeling it. So I decided I would share my top 10 favorite films of all time, which is really difficult. And as I was scrambling around my DVD collection, it started causing a panic, like to actually commit to this on film. And as I was going along, I realized I could turn this into a series, like my top 10 favorite romantic comedies, my top 10 action films. So if you're interested in that, give this video a thumbs up or say so in the comments. I will say my top 10 of all time changes. Every now and then I find a new film and I have to really restructure the list, which I've kind of mentioned a couple times before. So this is where the list stands at this moment, but the list does change. So I've got them all here, bar one. I can't find it, and that's good. I'll mention that one first. So that film is Top Gun, with Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer. And I was only 5 when that movie came out. I didn't see it in the theater, but it is one of my earliest memories of watching on TV. We had a VHS copy, and I know we had a Laserdisc copy. And I have very fond memories of living in Germany and my dad and I and my sister and my mom, all of us watching it on Laserdisc, and we had kind of makeshift surround sound for, stereos in each corner. And my dad would crank the sound up so loud you would swear those jets were going right through our living room, and it was awesome. So yeah, have a very special place in my heart for Top Gun. Even at age 7, 8 when I was watching it, I didn't even really know that much about boys, but I knew that volleyball scene. And if you've seen Top Gun, you know which scene I'm talking about. That volleyball scene was special. Yeah. Also, that film has one of the best 80s soundtracks ever, and I can still listen to all of those songs over and over and over again. So second film, I'm going to try to go through this as quick as I can, but I love these films, so I'm going to talk about them. Second film, Sleeping Beauty. I think of all of the Disney films, this is probably the one that I've watched the most. Prince Philip was probably my first fictional crush. I thought it was awesome that he had a white horse and he slayed a dragon. What more could a girl want? Also, her dress changes color. Really, what more could a girl want? So as a little girl, I just thought this movie was amazing. Obviously, I love Cinderella. I love Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, I mean, I loved all of those, but yeah. This and Cinderella were the two I remember watching at the earliest, because I remember going to see Beauty and the Beast in the theaters. That's how old I am. But yeah, of all of those, Sleeping Beauty. This is the one that I don't think I could live without. Have to have this. Next film. Doesn't matter what time of year, it is always appropriate to watch White Christmas. I remember watching this as a teenager. This isn't one that I grew up watching since I was little. This is one that I got introduced to at an older age, but ever since it's been a favorite. And I watch it every year during the holidays for sure, but sometimes I'll watch it in the middle of June just because you need that Christmas feeling in June. Amazing choreography, amazing numbers. If you haven't seen this movie, oh my goodness, you have to. You have to. Bing Crosby is amazing. Danny Kaye is absolutely hilarious. And yeah, it's just an amazing, amazing film. So the music, everything about it, it's just, I might have to watch this now because I love it. I just love it. So next film, Sense and Sensibility, starring Emma Thompson and Hugh Grant and Kate Winslet and, oh, Alan Rickman. I haven't watched this since Alan Rickman passed away. That's gonna be rough. This is probably my favorite film with him. I know a lot of people grew up watching him as Snape in Harry Potter, but this is what I grew up watching Alan Rickman in. And Colonel Brandon, he's one of my top Jane Austen crushes. And I think a huge part of that is Alan Rickman's portrayal of Colonel Brandon in this film. I love this. The costumes are amazing. The music is beautiful. The performances are amazing. I love the sister relationship between Eleanor and Marianne, Emma Thompson and Kate Winslet. Again, if you haven't seen this movie, I feel like a lot of my subscribers are younger than me. This might have come out like right as you were being born or before you were born. So if you haven't seen this, this one stands up against the test of time. This never dates itself, I think, because it's a period piece and it's so well done as a period piece. It's just, whether you're a Jane Austen fan or not, I think this film is just brilliant. So cannot live without this film. Next film is The Saint with Val Kilmer and Elizabeth Shue. And this is one of those films that I feel like it did okay in the box office. I remember going to see it in the theaters and then bought it as soon as it came out on DVD. But it's just so, it's fun. It's just a fun action film, and I love the relationship between Val Kilmer's character and Elizabeth Shue's character. I love all the costume changes. I think Val Kilmer does an amazing job as an actor in this. I think this was an incredibly underrated film of his. But I love the action, the adventure, the romance, the thriller, suspense aspect of it. So if you haven't watched this film, I highly recommend it. Now that I'm going through this list, I'm like, I need to watch these movies. I just need to have a movie fest. Next film, Singing in the Rain. Another classic film. I could do a top 10 of my all-time favorite classic films. This would definitely be on the list. If you haven't seen this movie because you think old movies are boring, rethink that. Watch this movie. Gene Kelly is brilliant. Debbie Reynolds is amazing. Donald O'Connor is the funniest man alive. No matter how sad or depressed I am, I can put this in and skip straight to Donald O'Connor singing Make 'Em Laugh, and he gets me laughing. It's just a good, feel-good, happy movie. And the costumes are great, and the music is great, and it's just... oh, it's just a brilliant film. You have to watch this. Yeah, and the title number, Singing in the Rain, is just, oh, I love it. I love it. Next, we're getting into some of the more recent films. Casino Royale. If I could pick one James Bond film to watch for the rest of my life, it would be Casino Royale. Having said that, I really did love Skyfall. I absolutely loved Spectre. GoldenEye was the first Bond film I ever watched. Because I did my master's thesis on Bond girls, I have watched more than half of the Bond films. I think Goldfinger is amazing. I think Dr. No is really good. But this is the one. I've watched this well over a dozen times. I never get tired of it. It's the Bond film that made me fall in love with Bond films. Before they were just something that I watched because it was just the thing to do, and then this, oh, yeah. So I'll stop rambling about James Bond, but yes, love that. Next film, next favorite, The Holiday. I feel like this is, again, kind of a Christmas film, but I watch this all year round. I've watched this as well over a dozen times, probably over 2 dozen times. I love this movie. It's just the ultimate romantic comedy. I relate so much to the Kate Winslet character, and also slightly to Cameron Diaz's character. So it's just, the story is beautiful, the soundtrack is gorgeous. I own the soundtrack and listen to it frequently. If you like romantic comedies and you haven't seen this, oh my goodness, you must. I think this is up there with Love Actually and About Time and Notting Hill. It's not by the same people that did all those films. It's by Nancy Meyers, and this is probably my favorite Nancy Meyers films. I don't usually go for her films as much, but this one, oh, and I think also part of it is Kate Winslet. I think she's brilliant. She's never done romantic comedies. This was her first, and I think she's brilliant in the genre, so love this. Wrapping it up and getting close, second to last, have to put a Harry Potter film in here. I don't think I could live without the world of Harry Potter on film. If I had to pick one, I'd pick Deathly Hallows Part 2. I would kind of cheat and say parts 1 and 2 and just Deathly Hallows as a whole, but if I have to stick to just one and count both films as two separate films, I'll go with Part 2 just because it's the ending. But as someone who didn't read the books until after all the films came out, I feel like I have a different level of appreciation for the films because I don't compare them. I don't compare the films to the books. To me, they're completely separate. I appreciate them each separately. So I love the films and I love the books, and they're just separate for me. So I can watch this without thinking, oh, they changed this, they changed that, they left this out, they did this differently. I just love it. I love the way they bring the films to a conclusion. I just think they really did an excellent job on the last one, and yeah, I love all of the films. Each for different reasons, but if I could only pick one Harry Potter film, I'd pick this one. And then final film, I've mentioned this a couple times, this is the last film, the most recent film to crack into the top 10, and that is a British film called Forget Me Not. This is a really small film. It really only has 3 main cast members. Gemma Jones, who is the mom in Sense and Sensibility and also the mom in Bridget Jones's Diary, Tobias Menzies, and Genevieve O'Reilly. I had watched all 3 of them in various seasons of the show MI5, or Spooks as it was known in the UK. Love that show. And so when I found this film starring all 3 of them, I bought this off Amazon sight unseen, just based on the story and the actors that were in it, and it did not disappoint. It is a gorgeous romantic drama, but with a lot of funny moments in it. It's a very real romance. The basic premise is these 2 people meet, and through different circumstances end up kind of spending 24 hours wandering around London together. It's a really small film, really independent film, did not get a huge hype. Like I said, I only discovered it because of who was in it, and wanting to see more with those particular actors. It's hard to describe it without giving anything away. But if you can get a copy of this, I highly recommend watching it. It's just a beautiful film. Everything about this film is just perfect. The cinematography, the costume design, and that's a whole other story, talking about the costume design in this. The score is gorgeous. I listen to it constantly. The casting, the script, everything about it is flawless. Also, because I love London so much, and it's set, like, you see a lot of the London landmarks, and yeah, it's just, I've walked the places that they walk in the film, so it's also kind of nostalgic for me because it reminds me of being there, and yeah, I need to watch this again. It's been a little while and I just love it. So yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Let me know what you thought about this. Like I said, I can do top 10 films of a bunch of different categories. I love films so much. As I've mentioned, I studied film at university for my first master's degree, so picking one favorite is impossible for me. And yeah, so let me know what you think. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know in the comments below your film recommendations, because I love discovering new films. Thank you all for watching. See you later.